over here with Magical Adventures, and today we are going to discuss our next topic: how to stay safe if and when the theme parks reopen, and what you can do to be safe in the theme parks. I'm going to go ahead and introduce my niece once again to come on over, and we're going to do a sit down together, and we're going to discuss what we need to do when the theme parks reopen, so that way you guys will know what to do, how to stay safe, and from any type of spread. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with number one, the face mask. It is your decision if you guys want to wear a face mask. There's different types of face masks that you can use. We have different face masks. It's very important I have different types of fabric here that you guys can be creative with the face mask. And here's some more face masks. Make your own. It's easy to make your own. You can go on YouTube and you can YouTube it on how to make face masks. I simply basically with this one, this is the non-sewing face mask. I just traced it from another pattern, traced it, and then all of a sudden I just used the hot glue gun to hot glue gun in here. I hot glue gun in the middle, and then of course I turned it out inside out, and there's your face mask. So I will demonstrate how it looks, and there you have it. That's what it looks like. And you have to make sure, if you're going to do something like this, to make sure it fits around your ear. You kind of measure it out in the middle of your nose. And this is the one that that my niece got off of
eBay, Amazon.
eBay, Amazon. You can order them also, the face mask. This is the one that is the sewing face mask that my niece did. She actually sewed this one. It had the elastic, as you guys can see, the elastic on the ends, and then she stitched the inside of the face mask. So this one is a sewing one, and then there's one that's a hot glue gun version as well. You can just use a hot glue gun to put it together. But like I said, it's your preference. If you decide you want to wear the face mask in the theme parks, would you wear the face mask?
I would wear the face mask. I feel like if you're going to be around a lot of people, especially since, Disneyland gets crowded and other amusement parks get crowded as well, you're going to be inhaling a lot of, oxygen and breath that everyone kind of...
Because what they did say is airborne?
It is airborne, yeah.
Yeah, that this virus is airborne. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's airborne, so I don't know. But that's what I'm hearing, that this virus is airborne. And this might not do as much, but it'll do something, and it's safety as well. But yeah, I would recommend wearing the face mask, and I would wear the face mask until there is a vaccine.
Yeah.
Once there's a vaccine for this COVID-19, then I will stop wearing the face mask. But until then, I'm going to continue to wear the face mask.
As a precaution.
As a safety precaution when we're around people, when we're in the music parks. All these amusement parks, Six Flags, Knott's Berry Farm, Universal Studios, the LA County Fair, the OC Fair, Disneyland, Disney World, malls, restaurants. These are places that have lots of people in them, and to be just for safety, wear the face mask. Just wear the face mask.
Might as well be
and be creative. Be creative with it. Get different fabrics, patterns, have fun. And especially when you're at the theme parks, make it really fun and match the theme at, Universal, because I know they have the Minions. Get some Minions fabric. Disneyland, get the Disneyland characters and make it your own. Have fun with the fabric.
Exactly.
All right. So Joey's going to go over number 2.
All right, number 2, we have hand sanitizer. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone needs hand sanitizer right about now, since everyone's freaking out about this whole pandemic. But basically antibacterial hand sanitizer and all that jazz. The spray-on ones, or even the ones that you squeeze out, the little thingies, they do good for your hands. And I feel like it's just good to have hand sanitizer on you at all times when it comes to this, because you're touching things, you're moving around, you're touching your face without even paying attention. You might not even notice it. And you just do these things unintentionally because you're so used to being able to do it without worrying. But now, since we have to worry, I feel like it would be best to at least have at least a little bit of hand sanitizer on you on all times. And how often should you be using hand sanitizer? I feel like after you go from, you know, coming from the grocery store, coming outside, touching a door, maybe just like taking an elevator, holding the stairs, you know, just put it on your hands so that way you don't trace anything back to your house, and just be sanitary. You might as well take the precaution.
Let's just be honest. We basically touch everything. And we don't even realize we're touching it. The handrails at the theme parks, the safety latches at the theme park, you're touching, you have to touch it. Or sometimes the park attendant at the ride will lower it for you, but sometimes they can't do that and we have to lower it ourselves. So just be mindful when you get off the ride to make sure you either spray the hand sanitizer like my niece had suggested, or immediately wash your hands after you get off the ride.
Yeah.
You know, so that is very important because we don't know what's being traced back on those handrails and on the bars when you are in line and such forth. Because you know how you touch the bars, but hopefully you guys don't get into that habit of touching the bars as you're walking down the line behind another person waiting to get on the ride. But it's very important, like Joy said, to do the hand sanitizer.
Because they were saying that like COVID, like the whole like entire bacteria is on hard surfaces.
Yep.
So if you touch something, that means you're more likely to have it on you than, you know, not, you know, putting hand sanitizer on it.
Yeah, and I know some of you guys out there think like, oh, this is not going to happen to me. We ain't going to be getting out. No, don't think that.
It happens to everybody.
It happens to everybody. Don't think that. Just be mindful. Hand sanitizer, very important. Just try to do the hand sanitizer and do that, okay? I'm gonna go over number 3, the temperature check. So temperature. I have a thermometer that I ordered. There's different types of temperature thermometers. There's one that has a strip. You have the strip one. Those are not really accurate. So I went and purchased the
infrared.
What is it?
Infrared.
The infrared thermometer that goes to your forehead, and you can check your temperature on your forehead. I'm gonna see if I can demonstrate this thing here, and hopefully it'll cooperate because it's been not cooperating. You just turn it on, and there it is, turn it on, and then I think I just have to make sure I'm doing this right. I'm gonna demonstrate on Joey to see if this will work. Hold on, guys. Okay, now try it. Let's see. Okay, I kind of knew this would give me an issue. Sorry, guys. My apologies. Okay, so let's try it one more time. Let's see if this thing will work. All right. Well, anywho, this is what it is. It's having some technical issues. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. It's just weird because I'm still trying to learn how to use this doohickey. And yeah, bring one of these because just to let you know, I might be wrong, but I feel that a lot of the theme parks out there might end up using these when you enter the gate entrance. When you go to the ticket entrance to scan your ticket, I believe they're going to start using these. I don't know if it's going to be at the security checkpoint, but security checkpoint is not going to really have time to do this because they have to look inside of the bags for your whatever you have in your bags and purses or whatnot. I think at the main gate when you're collecting tickets, they were going to be doing this little scanner. Because I believe in Tokyo and Shanghai.
Yeah, Tokyo.
They're actually using these to scan the guests as they enter the park. So you can get one of these for yourself. I think I paid $50 for this one, and it's very important that we just do it, just to check before you leave the house to go to the theme parks. Go ahead and just use this thermometer and check yourself just to make sure that you don't have a fever or a temperature or anything like that before you enter the parks, because once you get to the gate and they do the little head thermometer and they say unfortunately you have a fever, and you know you got a fever, you know, so if you have a fever, don't try to push yourself to go to the theme park. There's other days that you can go. I understand that if this does reopen and you're so excited you really want to go and you're feeling sick, don't force yourself to go. Take the temperature check before you leave the house. Make sure you're not over 97. Yeah, make sure you're not over 98 or 97. Make sure you're not over that temperature hump. You want to make sure that you're well, and because you don't want to go to the theme park and be miserable. But it doesn't matter, because if they do implement this check, they won't let you in no way. So you're just wasting your time, and you drove all that way for nothing, and you gotta turn back around. That also goes for Orlando, Florida, Disney World, the same thing. A lot of people are on vacations, and you go to the gate and they take your temperature.
We apologize for our momentary malfunction. One of our cameras died, so we're gonna have to basically reintroduce ourselves. Not really. Here's my uncle, and we're gonna continue from where we left off, which should be pretty easy.
Hi everybody, my apologies. The battery on my camera died, as Joey just mentioned. But like I said, just be mindful about the temperature. It is very important that we make sure we don't go to the parks with a fever. Basically, that's it. Okay. All right, Joy's gonna go off and do number 4.
Number 4 is hand washing. Now, I know some people, for some reason, do not like to wash their hands, but at this point, it is mandatory. And, I mean, like, it's only 20 seconds. Did you sing, like, I mean, I heard that if you sing happy birthday to yourself while you wash your hands, that's just, like, enough time.
Or the ABCs.
Or the ABCs. Or, like, any of your favorite songs, I mean, you can, like, just wash your hands, too, and, like, even get distracted just to make sure that your hands are lathered up and sanitary. I mean, like, everyone should do it. Just, like, right now, to make sure that we stop spreading this, I feel like hand washing should be, like, mandatory, especially if you don't have hand sanitizer on you, you aren't able to access it at the time. Like, as soon as you get home, I feel like you should just wash your hands and just desanitize, like, everything. So that's pretty much my take on hand washing.
Yeah, so yeah, especially if you're at the theme parks, when you're at the theme parks, yeah, it's going to be a lot of hand washing. Don't just use no hand sanitizer all the time, every time. Don't do that.
It doesn't kill 99% of germs like it says it does.
No, don't do that. Please wash your hands. It don't take but 20 seconds to go in the bathroom, wash your hands, scrubbing them really good, dry your hands, and come out and continue on throughout the park.
Exactly.
You're going to be doing this periodically throughout your day. Yeah, you're going to be washing your hands periodically throughout the day. You're going to hate it, but it's safety. And just to let you guys all know, at Disneyland, I know they will be having hand washing stations throughout their whole entire park. I don't know about Knott's Berry Farm, Universal, and Six Flags. I don't know. They might have sanitation stations throughout their entire park as well, because sometimes they hear from one another. All theme parks hear from one another, and it's a chain reaction. Oh, this theme park is doing this. Okay, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So they all kind of connect to one another, and they talk to each other. So all the CEOs of the companies. So that's a good thing if they do remain in their parks, which I think it will remain in their parks until there is a vaccine. Whether there is a vaccine or not, they still should have those around their theme parks for hand washing, and especially if you get off of a ride, it's sitting right there and you can wash your hands immediately. Yeah, there's going to be probably a long line for just that, but I don't think people are going to do a whole long line. That's why they're going to just use the sanitizer and then go about their way to get on another ride, because it's like time wasting waiting in a line for somebody to wash their hands for 20 seconds at the little booth sink. So yeah, you will be washing your hands periodically quite often, and that is very, very important. Okay, number 5, the good old H2O. You got to make sure you're hydrated, especially because summer is coming up. And it's going to be a hot, very hot season. Make sure you have plenty of water. Drink plenty of water. Be mindful when you're drinking at the park, the theme park waters. I would recommend, what do you think? Do you would recommend to buy bottled water or touching those? Because you're still touching those.
Yeah.
Drinking out of the water faucets at the parks.
Yeah, so I'd prefer.
I would recommend buying a water bottle. Yeah, it's expensive at the park. What are they, like 6?
20,
No,
60?
I think it's $6 for the water bottles.
Oh yeah, like $6 for one water, or $5 maybe.
It's $5
for like one.
I think
water
it's
bottle?
$5 for a water bottle at the theme parks. Get a water bottle. Don't drink out of those. Don't drink out of the water faucets. Please don't do that, because you don't know what's on those. Just invest in a water bottle or bring your own water bottle. Now, LA County Fair is a little bit different.
Yeah.
If the LA County Fair, because that's another event that happens every year in September, And with the LA County Fair, they do let you in with water bottles, but not drinking containers. Mm-hmm. Water bottles are okay, so because they don't have no water faucets in their little fairplex. But like I said, at all the theme parks, Universal, Knott's Berry Farm, you guys know which ones I'm talking about. Bring a water bottle, basically. Just keep hydrated because it's going to be very hot. Summer is coming up. Bring a water bottle, keep hydrated, and yeah. And then refill it, or no, you can't refill it because they have. See, another thing is they have those filters at Disneyland.
Yeah.
I know at Disneyland and the California Adventure over there by Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
They have those filters. That's another thing. Don't use the filters because you're still, people still touching. It's just still in contact. Don't even use those. Don't waste your time. Bring a water bottle. Bring like maybe 4 of these, or you're gonna have to spend the money and buy the water bottles at the theme parks. It is what it is, you know. Your backpack, it might be heavy if you bring like about 4 of these or whatever, because it's gonna be hot. You're gonna be hydrated. You're gonna be spending a lot of money, like I said, on water bottles. But don't drink out of the. I would not recommend drinking out of those faucets, the fountains. I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't trust it. I would not do it. So invest in getting a water bottle or buy one of them big things or the canisters or whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about, and invest in that. Okay, so we're gonna go over number 6.
Number 6. How often should you wash your hands? Now, I feel like this question is controversial because people people have their own preferences, but I feel like you should, like, when it comes to washing your hands from either coming outside, from like going somewhere, even from cleaning the house because you're touching all those chemicals, I feel like you should just like at least wash your hands like around maybe 4 or 5 times a day. I mean, it depends on how your schedule is. Like if you're going outside and interacting with people, if you're going to the supermarket to buy some groceries, I feel like as soon as you come home, you should just wash your hands and just be done with it. Mm-hmm. Or like as soon as you are in a bathroom and are able to, sanitize, I feel like you should at least do something like that so you can make sure that you're clean and that you don't have any of it on your hands or any bacteria on your hands, so you don't have to risk bringing it home. So that's number 6.
Yeah, so like Joey had mentioned, hand washing, especially at the theme parks, I think I mentioned it before, that you're going to have to constantly wash your hands throughout theme parks all the time. It's going to be annoying, but no, it's not going to be annoying because you're protecting yourself from any type of germ or bacteria, because there's all kinds of there's all kinds of bacteria out there that we don't even know. I didn't even know about this coronavirus bacteria that's out there. I had no clue. Did you?
No, I had no clue it even existed.
I didn't even know about this coronavirus. This is a bad virus, that bacteria.
Yeah.
So it is very important that you wash your hands. Just wash your hands. Kids are going to get annoyed because they ain't going to want to wash their hands, but no, wash your hands. Still do it. Just wash your hands and make it a habit. Now it's beginning to be a habit for us to wash your hands, but we should be doing that anyways. So make sure you wash your hands during your day or your stay at any place you go to. It's very important. All right, number 7 is protect yourself from touching things. All right, it is very important that we protect ourselves from touching anything. Mm-hmm. Be mindful, be careful what you touch. Like Joey had mentioned earlier, the bacteria lives on hard surfaces. You touch a table or anything, or concrete outside of your house, because inside your house you should be cleaning it and sanitizing your counters anyway, because you're touching your counters, but you still have to wash your hands. But be mindful when you're touching the handrails, because I know it's a habit. I get it. It's a habit when you're touching those handrails and you don't really realize you're just touching it, and then you're touching your face, and that's even worse. Touching the handrail and then touching your face. That's a habit as well, because we're touching our face constantly because it itches and everything. But be very mindful. I would recommend gloves, the gloves that she has.
These ones.
The gloves, if you decide to touch something, if you have to touch something, wear those gloves. Wear some latex gloves, or bring a few of them with you. Put them in your backpack at the parks, and zip it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in your backpack. If you have to touch something that you have to touch and you have no choice, wear some gloves. Then when you're done touching it, take the gloves off and then wash your hands afterwards. Mm-hmm. very important when you guys making sure that you protect yourself when you touch anything throughout the theme parks or in public places. Just be mindful. All right, Joy's gonna go over number 8.
Number 8, should theme parks sanitize and wipe things down after every use on a ride? Now that's a pretty interesting question, because I mean, like, after every use on, like, after every ride, keep in mind there's going to be around like 10 to like not like 15 people on a single ride at the same time.
Yeah.
So if anything, they're close, and like, I mean, like back to back close on a like a roller coaster, on the Ferris wheel, on any single ride. And I feel like, I mean, if they were to sanitize it like after every single ride, I mean, that would cost them a lot of money, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it would be a lot of money out of their pocket, since they'd have to go and buy cleaning supplies, buy a whole bunch of like sanitation stuff, and have to wipe down and scrub every seat. And it would, not only would that like be expensive, but it would be time consuming.
Yep.
And
It'll hold up the line. It'll hold up the time. People are gonna get annoyed.
Yeah, people are gonna get on the ride.
It's taking too long just to wipe this down. Whatever it may come in. I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to wipe none of that stuff down. We, as human beings, and as for safety, we need to do that ourselves. When you get off the ride, hand sanitize your hands or wash your hands. Either or. Because I understand that you want to rush to get to the other ride, but if you don't have time to wash your hands thoroughly, use the hand sanitizer and go to the other ride. But I don't think that they're going to do that after every. That doesn't make no sense.
That's going to be stressful.
That's going to be stressful.
All the workers.
Especially, exactly. That's going to be too time consuming for all the guests that want to get on the ride after somebody gets off. It's your responsibility when you get off that ride, hand sanitize your hands or wash your hands when you get off. And then, do it that way. That's just basically how it should be.
Just stay clean. That's all you need to do.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and go over number 9. If you're already sick, don't come to the parks or even your kids being sick. Okay, so if you're already sick and you feel sick and you know you're coming on down with a fever or anything, don't go to no theme parks. Don't go out. Stay indoors. Stay at home. And then when it comes to children, especially with kids, if they feel sick, do not give them no medicine or fever reducer. Don't do that. When your kid is sick and they don't feel well, I get it that you want to go to the theme park because it's been so long since you've been at the theme parks due to this epidemic, and you are so excited and you want to go to the theme parks, but you're sick and your child is feeling sick. Like I said, you need to do the thermometer check to make sure you don't have a fever, because trust and believe me, you go to that theme park and you're sick, they're going to check your temperature before you enter that gate, and they're going to tell you, I'm so sorry, you may not enter. You have a fever of 101, and we are not allowing you in. You can't get mad at the guest. I mean, at
the workers.
Thank you. The worker, you can't get mad at them. You can't get no attitude with them. If they say you have a fever, they're not letting you in. Okay, so just be mindful. If you're sick, if your child is sick, stay home.
Take care of yourself first before you decide to go out and do anything too rash. Yeah.
It's very important. Just stay home. Don't force yourself to go to the theme parks or force your child to go to the theme parks. Especially if you're feeling better and you're feeling great and your child is feeling miserable,
take care of your kid.
Do not force them to go to the theme park. Yeah. Take care of them, and do not give them no fever reducer medicine the very next day, because trust me and believe me, they might go through the gates with the fever reducer and there's no fever that shows up, but once they get in and when the fever wears off, the medicine wears off, they're going to be miserable. They're going to cry, and that's the worst. When that medicine wears off, it's the worst. Do not do that to your children. Keep them home. The theme parks ain't going nowhere
anytime soon.
It's going to be open, and just go another day, especially if you're on a very long trip and you're flying out to Disneyland, Florida. The same thing. If your child is sick, stay at the hotel. Have them get some medicine. The same with you. Stay at the hotel. Take plenty of medicine and treat yourself.
Self-quarantine.
Get well, because you just don't waste your time going to the theme parks and they say, I'm sorry, you cannot come in. You have to turn back around and you're mad and upset. No, you can't do that. That's your fault because you wanted to go. You knew you were sick. Don't do that.
Or,
big mistake.
Yeah, don't even risk bringing it back home either.
Exactly.
That's another bad thing.
Yeah. All right, she's gonna go over number 10.
Number 10. Should cast members at the theme parks wear face masks and gloves at security checkpoint and ticket scans entering the park? I feel like, yes, I feel like it should be mandatory for like security members to wear face masks because they're going to be touching people. They're not really going to be touching people, but they're going to be scanning people for any metal items. They're going to be looking through your bags. Mm-hmm. I feel like especially if they're touching personal items, they should have at least some gloves on them because, you know, like you don't know where that bag's been, you don't know where that backpack has been, you don't know what's on it, you don't know what it has, you know. Like you might as well just be a little bit safer. Now, like I was thinking about reading this one because I was like, cast members, even then, like the performers, when they're dancing, would they have to wear a face mask? Like, would they have to wear gloves? Would they have to change up their entire costuming just to like accustom to what's going on at the time? Like, I mean, I feel like if they did, I feel like they should just to promote like, you know, social distancing. Even though dancing is pretty much nowhere near social distancing. Yeah. But, I mean, I feel like they should at least try to make some effort to keep their workers safe, to keep their cast members safe, and just to promote, like, a healthier way of going about things when it comes to being in, like, amusement parks or theme parks or anything. Yeah, especially when it comes to ticket scans because, you know, you're legitimately handing the person the ticket and they can touch touch whatever bacteria may or may not be on there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you might, like, just be safe, just wear gloves. I mean, if anything, gloves I feel like should be, like, one of your main concerns because you're touching a lot and your hands are going to be everywhere when it comes to going to, like, you know, an amusement park or a theme park or anything. Just keep those hands clean and just be safe.
And this is going to what Joy just said. This is I'm talking about the cast members, the workers that are at, you know, the theme parks, and they're really at risk. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they have a mindset to talk to the CEO or their boss or whoever and let them know that we're wearing gloves and we're going to be wearing a face mask because we're the ones who have to ticket scan, we have to check people's bags. And of course, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think at security checkpoint, they actually do check. Actually, no, they weren't not wearing gloves. This was a while back. They don't wear gloves. Yeah, they have a flashlight to look inside of your bag or whatnot, and they're not wearing any type of gloves.
They have like a stick sometimes.
Now, with what's going on, I'm sure they will be wearing gloves, and I'm sure they will be wearing facial masks because it is very important for those cast members to be safe too, not just us. They all the staff members have to be safe and cautious about checking people's bags and everything and wearing gloves. And they must. This is the hardest part because if they're wearing gloves, they have to, and they're looking and they're still touching the bag, they have to change the gloves out again. You see, that's the hard part right there.
So they don't have to, they don't transfer it to another.
Exactly. So that's another hard issue. That's like almost, you're looking at what? A million gloves?
Yeah.
That all the theme parks have to provide for their security?
Yeah.
To check all those bags?
That's terrible.
See, that's another thing. But what I think they should do is have the guests, like ourselves, open the bag.
Open the bag.
And we're going to have to let them look inside, and they'll just use their flashlight to look instead of them rumbling through the bag like they used to, because they used to grab the backpack or bag and they look themselves. Now I think we should have it unzipped like we used to do it. They would tell us, please make sure your bags are unzipped so that the security can look through it. So what I think they should do now is have us unzip everything and we open everything, what's inside, instead of them rummaging through everything. We have to pull everything from the bottom because they're going to look in their flashlight from the bottom, and they're not actually touching anything. They're only touching their flashlight and whatnot. So that's a preventative action so that they don't have to use multiple gloves and such forth. So that's one thing that they can do. And they can do it that way. And at the security, at the ticket booth, the same thing. They don't really have to exchange, what is it? They usually take the ticket.
Oh, don't they have like the scanners that you could just boop and then they can go in?
Yeah, they take the, what is it, the printout tickets, you guys? The ones that you print out at home. They have to still take those papers, but they're wearing gloves. So if they're wearing the gloves, they don't have to interchange them out because they're just taking, it's just paper and they just put it under the bottom of their little desk. True. So they don't have to change the gloves out. You know, of course they're going to have to change it because your gloves do get a little bit sweaty. Your hands get sweaty when you're wearing the gloves for so long. So you're going to have to change them out, cast members. referring to. But yeah, that for the cast members that take the tickets, it's not going to be a difficult issue.
Yeah,
now,
not too bad.
In Orlando, Florida, for Disneyland and everything, I don't know how the other theme parks work, but for Disneyland, you guys understand that they use the little the magic band to do the magic band, and they do the fingerprint thing. I think they're going to be removing the fingerprint thing and only use the magic band, because you're not really doing anything. You're just putting your magic band on the little Mickey Mouse, and when it glows, and that's it. So I know technology at Disneyland is really smart, and they'll be able to remove the hand print thing, and all you got to use is just your little magic band. They're very clever, Disney, the company, on how to do all that. But as far as Universal Studios and all the other theme parks, I'm sure they're going to come up with some kind of a solution. But regarding the ticket thing, like they've done before, taking the paper, scanning it, and then throwing it under the bottom. And then as far as the annual pass holder thing, they can't take those because those are cards.
Yeah.
And they have to they got to change their gloves out because they're touching the card. Somehow, I think the theme park should have some kind of a scanner with the card, and then just scan the guests will scan it on a scanner, and then they can go right on in. And your face will appear. You, the cast member, will be able to see their face as they scan the card. You'll see their face that they have a seasonal pass, and they can just enter. You don't have to touch nothing. You see what I'm saying? I think that's what they might end up doing, and that's the smartest thing to do, so that there's no exposure.
Yeah.
And so basically, that's pretty much it. We actually summed up everything. If you guys have any questions, or if something that me and Joy left out and you want to bring in a comment and say you want to add something to what we were talking about, you are more than welcome to. Just comment down below on my channel. And so hopefully there is a vaccine for this entire thing. And once there's a vaccine, hopefully it'll all pass over.
Clear out, yeah.
Yeah, but for now, I would recommend following some of these tips that me and Joy went over until there is a vaccine.
Just take all the safety precautions.
Take safety precaution. Continue hand sanitizing. Wearing your face mask. Bringing gloves if you want to bring your gloves. You can bring the gloves. But you know, the face mask, this is the most important, is the face mask. And these are more appropriate. Bring these, guys, the face mask cloth. These are what, 100% cotton?
No, cotton.
Make sure that your fabric is 100% cotton. Okay.
Oh, well, closing out, our final thoughts. We're coming back in. Here's my uncle.
Sorry, you guys. My camera's acting silly right now. I'm operating the Canon G7X, and it just keeps shutting off whenever it's ready to shut off. Because I think our time lapse is still going. I guess I have to fix that feature. I'm still learning how to use this Canon G7X about the time lapse on how to make it longer, the video. So we're going to go ahead and close out this video. Thank you so much for watching and tuning into this channel. If you guys like this channel and this video, please subscribe to my channel at Hatsketeers Magical Adventures. Give it a big thumbs up if you like the video. And also hit that bell notification for more videos to come, like this one and some others to come. Alright, well, thank you so much, everybody. And we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. And thank you very much.
Goodbye.
And Joy is saying bye-bye. And I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks, Hatsketeers. Bye-bye. And be blessed.